Okay, so welcome to the Wednesday Team Prosperity Meeting. This is the weekly meeting where we want to go into things that will either immediately help your business or give you some ideas to grow your business over the coming weeks and months as you develop yourself and your branches into that portfolio of digital agencies that you're looking for. July 7th, we just passed, obviously, the July 4th holiday. Still a time where people are going to be vacationing, doing the things during normal summer activities, with a compounding factor of last year, most people didn't do anything. So push through this time, do what you can, work on some things that will help you, but don't neglect your direct activity just because the pool of people in terms of the communication pool right now is lighter than normal. Knowing that we're coming up on the sweet spot for our business and a lot of other industries, when school gets back in through about Thanksgiving. During this time, like I said, also understand that you can continue to do stuff to improve yourself, to improve your business. Your income as an entrepreneur is really a reflection of you learning and doing new things. This is not only for yourself, this is for the distribution legs, the branch offices that you're trying to build. If you're not learning anything new, processing anything new, you're not passing anything new down to your offices. And that has a negative ripple effect throughout the whole organization. Put yourself out there, carve out a little time each week, each day to learn something new that will hopefully benefit your business. Not everything that you learn is going to be beneficial, but a lot of the things that you learn and implement can have that positive impact and ripple effect that we're looking for. We will start a new 12-week year. I believe August 16th is the date, give or take a day. So you have about 6 weeks or so to either reread the book or pick it up and read it for the first time. There are audio versions. I'll try to find one and post it in the groups you guys have access. If you're interested in signing up and participating with us, there'll be a sign-up sheet and some additional information as we get closer. We made this announcement, but you need to be aware we're moving from landing pages that I've created. So if I've created you landing pages, understand those are on borrowed time because, right around the end of August, I'm hoping to phase those out as we introduce the funnel systems. A landing page is a standalone. It'll capture the contact information. It'll create a lead for you. But a funnel system with an automated campaign, triggers, that's everything that we're looking for. So we will be phasing out these landing pages in favor of these funnels. Each funnel that you want to participate in now only requires you to record 2 voicemails and no longer need the video. We overcame that obstacle with something else. And then you'll need a URL. And then we'll create an account for you, plug it in. And like I said, with the triggers and automation, it's going to help us and help our new agents with what I've seen over the past few years, which is really people are, unorganized, they don't follow up. So this helps them overcome some of those defects early on in the business stage. Last week, or not actually last week, 2 weeks ago, last week we had just an open Q&A session because it was going into the holiday weekend. But 2 weeks ago, we started a recruiting series. And what we talked about on that meeting, understanding your primary motivation for hiring and recruiting. Why are you doing it? Identifying the right prospect, being selective in your recruitment, knowing not just what people want, but actually how to get them there. Work ethic is crucial for your partners and organizational growth to possess. Making sure there's commitment, not just interest. Big difference there, guys. And playing the long game, as championship organizations are not built overnight. So that's, like I said, always in the YouTube channel. We send these out. It's in the Facebook group. You can always access it if you need to go back. So this week, we're just going to continue on with recruitment. Remember, recruitment is one of the most important things that you do. It takes you from that kind of self-employed, owning a practice, building a book of business, to actually building distribution, real freestanding businesses that at some point you will have built up to the point they can become independent. Is this your persona, small business, self-employed? I love talking to these type of people. They speak my language. I'm an entrepreneur. So if this is your persona, you need to understand a little bit about, what this marketplace is, and then you need to develop marketing and meaningful relationships. A lot of the funnels will be based on talking to self-employed small business about, increasing their business, about opening up new revenue streams, about what it can do for them, no matter who they are. But you need to understand that if this is your persona, 70% of this persona is operated by a single person. So what does that mean? Well, that means they're probably looking to expand their business, open up new revenue and income opportunities. And then from us contacting these people, it means that we're not going to have to go through a bunch of gatekeepers to find the decision maker. The person that I want to speak to, probably right on the other end of that email or that phone or that text. So these are great people to talk to. Learn how to talk to them in a number of ways that make sense to them and open up those meaningful relationships, pushing them through a pipeline to see if there may be a qualified candidate, or if not, possible ways we can help them on the client side. One of the easiest pivots, guys, if you're working with small business and self-employed, business opportunity is not right for a number of variable reasons. That pivot over to the client side is very, very easy versus somebody that you're talking to that's been unemployed for 9 months. That pivot, it's not going to happen. Small business, self-employed, the Google search is a great place to start. And you guys need to understand that we're in the era of big data. So when you look at, small businesses, self-employed, some of those people that we reach out to, they're going to be found here in the online directories. Remember, when you're looking at online directories, there's a bunch of different directories online that you can find people. And if you're looking at self-employed small business, those contact emails, those contact phone numbers, probably going to lead right to that person. What you need to develop is an understanding of what it is that you're trying to fill. So if you were hiring a W-2 position and you had to put an ad out for that, what is the position? Same thing here. Just because we're tying their income to the revenue growth of the company doesn't mean that we still don't have an ideal idea of what the open position kind of entails. And then on the other side, who is the perfect candidate? So what is it that we're trying to fill, and who is it that we're trying to look for to fill that position? If you don't understand what you're trying to do and who you're looking to help do it with, then you're going to find that a lot of these conversations absolutely go nowhere. You're looking for people that can rise to the moment, that can help you, with coaching, training, supporting, building, mentoring, all of those things. But essentially, a rock bottom kind of analysis of what I'm looking for is I'm looking for dedicated distribution partners. I'm looking for people who understand the opportunity, understand, the advantage of having digital online business and a marketplace with a heavy need. So all of those things line up. But once somebody understands that, are they looking to build nationwide distribution of the products and services that we offer? If so, it's a key person that I want to invest some time, energy, resources in to helping, because I know if I can get them what they want, I get a piece of what I want as well. So you need to find your niche. No matter who you're looking to work with, you need to understand who that person is. You need to basically study them and understand, how they operate, how to approach them, what to say. And by dominating a persona or a group of personas, it makes this business and the recruiting aspect of this business a lot easier than just a blanketed approach for everybody. So when you're outlining, like I said, you need to outline, what you're looking for and why you're looking for it, because when you're talking to people, it helps them understand two things, why you're reaching out to them. And then number two, why they should be listening to what you say. So why are you reaching out to them? And then on the other side, why that other person should be listening to what you have to say. Once you understand that and can effectively and articulately insert that into communication, when you frame conversations, it helps disqualify early on, and it helps get the qualified parties to the next action steps. When you find that niche, when you find that persona, then you have to develop a message to that persona that makes sense to them. I'm talking to a real estate agent, I'm talking to a CPA, I'm talking to an insurance agent, I'm talking to a homeowner as that type of person with a message directed at them. When you're building pipelines, so it doesn't matter if you're starting anything, you have to give it that 90 days to fill up your pipeline. You have to crush the communication, phones, text, emails, and you have to stay consistent. That's the first rule of building any type of a marketing pipeline. Recruiting is no different. It's all about mindset. Stop selling, start interviewing people, asking questions. And then you have to understand this long term, it's a numbers game. I'm talking to a lady today later on that just popped up on my calendar. I think the last time I talked to her was late 2020, maybe November, December. So it's been a number of months. So people will come back around. If you keep them in drip campaigns, you stay in front of them. Remember, the desire to build an online business and make money, or the desire to be financially free, get rid of the mortgage, whatever it is, those things don't go away overnight. So, it's a numbers game. Think long term, connect with them, stay in front of them, and be happy in your approach. Every day is not going to be good, but you can come off in a positive way. The way that you guys come off on the phone in the first few seconds is so important to the rest of the conversation. And there's a cold market myth that, you can't build a business in the cold market. I've just showed you guys through a Google search how you can identify self-employed, small business, talk to the decision maker. If you get enough of a pipeline built with the right type of messages to the right people, your business will build. And then what I tell you guys is, once you start making money, pay yourself for the time invested, develop a marketing budget so it's not all outbound, you're creating some inbound. Funnel systems are going to help with that as well. You need to understand the communication flow. So it can't be choppy. It has to be defined in your approach, whether you're talking to a potential client or like we're talking about today, recruiting. You can increase enrollment in your branch office through strategic conversation. And what that means is being able to identify in the points of the conversation how to control and direct that conversation. If you're talking to somebody and you guys have a good vibe, a good conversation going on, they understand what we're doing, they understand the power of what we're trying to do, that there's some reason they just wouldn't make a good fit, ask for referrals. Ask for people that may be looking to expand their businesses, existing businesses, people to open up digital opportunities, or people looking to, on the client side, get A, B, or C, whatever it is that you're trying to offer. You are never, ever, ever, ever going to get a referral unless you start asking for them. And referrals come in a lot of different ways. Also, when you're going out there, remember, marketing to people, that's more of a direct approach. When you're networking with people, it allows the conversation to be a little bit more open. And the best way to network is just to ask questions. Hey, what do you do? How long have you been doing it? Those type of things that will give you the information that you're looking for, but also allow the other person to do most of the talking. And like we've talked about before, it doesn't matter a client or a partner. You allow people to talk, you get information from them. That information is going to uncover things, problems, goals, whatever it is that will allow you to come in with solutions and action steps. You just can't go to an action step unless you've got the rest of that in between. There's no doubt right now, this is an unprecedented time in history where there are so many people on the move. If you look at what happened during COVID with the number of new businesses that were registered, the amount of people that are going over to entrepreneurship, this is the greatest time in the last, 6 years that I've been building virtual financial services agencies to talk to people about the business opportunity. There's a great amount of talent on the move right now. And if you learn how to be a talent scout and, find these people with, like we talk about, messages that resonate with them, this is the greatest time to build a business like this. And over the next coming months and couple years, you need to be aggressive and take advantage of this. I can tell you, in a few years ago, nobody was moving, guys. And, the job boards were silent. Everybody was at their place. It's a complete 180. So you need to be aggressive. And like I talked about, if somebody's looking to remain remote and their company's not allowing them to, or whatever it is, that's what they're trying to get. That's the desire. That's the motivating factor. You got to hone in on that and make sure that people understand you can help them get there. This is how we get there. This is what I need from you. This is what I'm going to offer you. Can you make that commitment? Meet me in the middle. Financial wellness is a huge space right now. So when you're looking at people on the move and you're looking at placing people in this possible opportunity, understand that the industry itself, the sector, financial wellness, has never been hotter. It is almost like a defining line where before financial wellness was a nice to have thing in your life. Whereas now financial wellness is a must have in your life. If you don't have financial wellness, it bleeds over into these other categories. If you don't have financial wellness, you're going to get left behind going forward because of what's about to happen macro economically speaking. We talked about this, frame the conversation. You know, you're looking for someone who has a reason to do something. That reason, once it's identified, you're going to help them figure out how to get there. Why we're expanding. You're not just recruiting to throw people against a wall and sell them stuff. Why are you expanding? You need to understand that and be able to articulate that to the person that you're talking to. Like we just mentioned, if it's not the right fit, but the person is a good person, you think they've got a good network, ask for referrals of people that you can help expand their business, or like we talked about, the product and service side from the clients. And set up conversations that lead to a yes result. The funnels are going to help you guys with that, with a lead magnet of just explaining, you know, how to get more leads, how to build a business, no matter who it's talking to. That's the yes formula that we're looking for at the top. You want something of value? Great, let's get you in this. And once they opt in, we've got the automations, the triggers and everything to either hopefully do one of two things, push them out or get them on your calendar. So as you're out there looking for people and people are on the move, number one is, like I said, my number one filter is the cash flow quadrant, but also this is going to allow you guys to understand from their point of view, how do they view what's going on in the world right now? Is their view like ours? I believe there's no better time in history than right now to be a marketer, networker, entrepreneur. On the other side, if they feel like it's a terrible time, how are they ever going to have the mindset to go through and do what we need them to do? So number one, cash flow quadrant. And then number two, kind of on the same level, how do they view what's going on in the world right now? Is it from a mental state of abundancy, there's a lot of opportunity, or a mental state of scarcity where there's not much going on? You're a talent scout in the, you know, whether you are, you know, talking to a potential real estate agent, CPA, insurance agent, or someone who doesn't fit into one of those personas. It's talent, but it's talent that's defined. And what that means is you're looking for people who want to become the top echelon. They want more, they're willing to work for it. And what that means is it's not so much qualifying people, it's disqualifying people. And what I mean is when you're on the phone, this stuff is going to become apparent, not directly, but indirectly, in what people say and how they say it. If this stuff is coming up on the phone conversation from their side, might be able to help them as a client, I don't know. But as far as a business partner, the probability of them coming in and failing in a business like this is very, very high because of things like this. I'm not going to go through this whole list, but like we talked about before, if you play poker, it's not so much about the cards, reading the table. Same thing here. When you're talking to a potential prospect in terms of a business partner, where time, energy, resources going into them, you want to bring in the right people. And if they're the wrong people, get rid of them. That's the meaning of eject. Once you find things that are problematic in the conversation, you can try to pivot over, but you don't want to continue that conversation because you don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste our time. Because you know, just reading the situation, this is probably not going to work. It's quality over quantity. And one of the hardest things for people to understand is, you know, if I bring in one solid business partner this month and you bring in 6 or 7, you know, people that really didn't fit into what you were looking for, I have a higher probability of getting that one person to where I need to versus you getting one of your 6 or 7 to where you need to. So remember, time, energy, resources is going into this person or spread out over these people. It's much better to make that investment into something you feel it's going to have a nice return. Remember, the first defining filter for me is the cash flow quadrant. If people are on the move, that's great. And I understand they're looking for opportunities to do X, Y, or Z, depending on what their desires are. But one of the first things I need to understand is, are you looking for wages, salary, AKA trading your time for money? Or are you not only okay with, but are you excited about the opportunity to trade your time for results, build something that includes multiple streams of income and equity ownership? Also, when you're talking to people, building a business and building an ideal business around your ideal life, that's really what we're looking for. We're looking for people who want to take part in the new rich. And the new rich is not only about money, but it's about lifestyle freedom, time freedom, etc. This business opportunity will help the right candidate get to those positions. That right candidate. So some of the things that you're looking for, on the one side, we talked about that list of things when they come up, disqualifier, but also what are some qualifications that you're looking for? Well, when you're reviewing somebody, how do they approach their life? Does it look like they've just been drifting, or is it approached with intention and action? Because this business model, being an entrepreneur, being a digital entrepreneur in the 21st century, requires intention and action. It also requires the ability to understand the importance of developing targets and objectives, and then secondarily, the importance of hitting targets and objectives. If somebody's never made a goal or a target or objective in their life, that's a problematic leading indicator going forward. They're probably not going to do it. And then we've talked about this before, but on the recruiting side, another quality candidate is what I call the financial crusader. They understand the problem, and they're obsessed with helping people fix that problem. Mission-based people make great partners. And then also you want to be able to see some consistency. If somebody's worked 7 jobs in the last 28 months, well, at some point we have to look at them as the issue, because in all those places you're telling me no one provided the foundation, training, support, what they needed to be successful. Just don't buy into that. So consistency, being able to show up every day, being able to, have a forward-thinking mentality 24 or 36 months down the road is very important to a business model like this, where some of the front-end work is just building up pipelines and getting to the point where we can start having revenue recognition. Quality candidates doesn't matter on a part-time or full-time basis, but it does matter in the quality of the candidate, that they understand going from a full-time job and then trying to bridge over to full-time entrepreneurship by inserting part-time after the full-time job. Guys, that's a sacrifice. And they've got to have a conversation with their family, with themselves. Are they understanding of the sacrifice that it's going to take? And are they willing to do it? If they're not, it's not a big deal. You're actually helping them by disqualifying them on the front side. Remember, a side hustle is something that, people are looking either to earn some additional income or make that gap. But once again, when you look at the side hustles that are going on, you look at the part-time business, you look at the mentality of a lot of these people, you need to, like I said, really read the situation. When you look at, for example, what's your side hustle down here, and then what people are making on the opposite side, look at this, 50%. What are you, so right here, where are you at with your side hustle or business today? 50% of these people have not ever started. What does that say? We talk about that. That planning and preparing is nothing more than veiled procrastination. These people will be thinking about it forever. Now, 36% I've started, but I'm making less than $500 a month. And then 14% I'm making over $500 a month. So when you're talking to people, understand if they've got big goals and they're reselling jeans online, you need to talk to them about the possibility that's probably not going to get them to the financial goals that you and I talked about on the phone. You're almost at some point, guys, like a therapist, but the therapy is not to get somebody to a defined point that you want. It's to help the conversation between two people identify whether or not this is a good fit to go forward. Ultimately, there has to be a price to pay. What do you want? If somebody doesn't have goals, dreams, wants, desires, that's a disqualifier. It's not my job to help you figure out what you want in your life. It's my job to help you understand that once we've identified that, and once you've understood the price and you've said you're willing to pay that price, my job is to provide infrastructure, training, support, coaching, mentoring to get you where you want to go. It's not to provide the goal, not to provide the motivating factor. That's what they need to bring. You need to prospect with a purpose. When you're out there, you can be brand new and the funnels are going to help you out tremendously. But even if you don't know a lot about the business yet, you need to be defined in your approach, and you need to be confident, because even though you might not know a lot yet, that could actually be very advantageous because you can stick to bullet points, you can stick to scripts, and you can learn how to talk to people and develop what we've been working on, which is the yes formula. All we need is somebody to agree that what you're offering has value to them or their business, and then for them to opt in. Also remember, guys, no matter what side of the business, recruiting is no different. You're dealing with creatures of emotion. So when you're painting that picture of possibility, it needs to be painted with something that has an emotional tie into it. Can they put themselves there at X date in the future and see that and feel that sense of accomplishment, whatever we're trying to do here? And then you need to understand value. It is so important. Don't discount what you yourself, the company, and the team brings to the table. You have to have an air of confidence about this, because successful businesses, they solve a problem or they serve a need. So when you're out there looking at other businesses and you can't figure out what they solve or what they serve, they're not going to be in business for very long. In our business, we definitely serve needs, solve problems, because when you look at what's going on, lack of financial literacy, the lack of understanding about how money works, the fact that most people are getting ripped off, by financial institutions, lenders, banks, we have solutions for that. And our solutions are, they start with education. So people have these financial problems. Our company helps solve those problems. Whether it's the business, the product, or both, we have lead-ins to solutions. And education comes to both partners and clients. When you're talking about solving a problem, serving a need, we definitely do that. And we're actually leading the way. When you look at what we're trying to do, what we're trying to piece together, we're leading the way. And that makes a big difference, guys, because we talk about this. If you're in a multi-trillion-dollar financial services industry, you do the same thing as the next 4 or 5 people, you got to compete with all those people. That's not much fun. When you innovate, lead the way, do something different, you stand alone. And when you stand alone, you need to help the other side understand why you stand alone and why that's advantageous to them going forward as a potential partner. And as we go forward, all of these digital tools that we have give us advantages. So we're not in an old tired industry with old tired tools trying to do the same old tired routine. We're bringing a fresh new approach in the terms of the way we market, communicate with people, the way that we handle clients, the way that we build businesses. It's all 21st century. This gives potential partners a very powerful digital franchise opportunity that allows them to work from anywhere, which a lot of people are looking for. Living that dream lifestyle is actually easier than you think. Like I said, there's no better time to be an entrepreneur, networker, marketer. You can carve out an ideal lifestyle for yourself if you're willing to put the pieces together. And then on top of that, inside that, we have a contract that allows you to work on your own or build sales teams and organizations. Whatever it is that you want to do, you can access this. And then inside, we have a system that's duplicatable, that's easy to follow, that gets results, that is a system where if you create independence, you're going to know exactly what's going on a few generations down. Remember, the disruption, when you're talking to potential partners and recruiting people, the disruption is going to be a little bit different. The disruption creates a value point, whether that value point is a mom wanting to stay at home with her kids, or whether that's a person who doesn't want to commute anymore, whatever it is, the disruption that we bring in our business model is going to create value points for that individual. You have to know what those are and identify that, because once again, people are emotional creatures. If you can show them how to get what they want, build them a roadmap to get there, get the commitment from their side, they're willing to do it, the qualified candidate coming in, guys. And then also from our team prospect and aspects, we teach people the foundations of online marketing and business. We teach them how to develop a vision, personal development strategy. We teach them personal branding, marketing. We teach them monetization strategies. We teach them on how to develop in terms of content creation. We teach follow-up engagement strategies. We teach people how to develop traffic. And then we also teach them how to grow their business in a way that starts off with, organically. You can do this with no money out of pocket, but we teach social media, networking, prospecting. We teach them how to go to the second step, which is personal branding and content marketing. And the third step, which is throwing fuel on that fire, paid advertising to scale your business. Action right now, even though other people are not making action, is the fundamental key to all your success now and going forward. You need to make the moves right now, kind of like in a chess game. Mentally start preparing yourself for, hey, where do I want to be? What type of real estate do I want to take up online? What's my message? Who am I talking to? And start to create strategic movement, because 36, 48, 60 months down the road, whatever it is, you're not going to get somewhere where you want to go. And once again, going back to recruiting, that person is never going to get to where they want to go unless they actually know where it is and have a defined plan of action to get them there. So where will we be in 5 years? Well, where will our potential partner that we're talking to be in 5 years? That needs to be something that needs to be discussed. That helps us understand, does this person have motivating factors, goals? Do they have a vision to make it happen? Or are they one of those people that's just drifting? We can't help drifters. And that's really all we've got for this week, guys. We'll pick it back up with some more recruiting next week in terms of specific ways in platforms, messages, automation, and we'll continue just to get better and better and better at what we do.